Hello everyone, this is Ashish Sani from Innovate Yourself. In our today's session, you are going to learn about Rasa, or let's say we are going to create a chatbot using Rasa. So, what is Rasa and why should I use it? Exactly, this is the first question that will come to your mind, that why should I use it and what exactly Rasa is, because I don't know anything about it, right? So don't worry about that. We will cover all those parts in our today's session. So let's go to the first question, which is what is Rasa? So Rasa is an open source machine learning framework for automated text and voice based conversation. So automated text and voice based conversation. So this is actually made for this purpose, and it is an open source machine learning framework. That means you can easily access that, you can easily use it anywhere in your project where you want to use it. So automated text and voice based conversation means here you want to create a chatbot, or let's say you can create a voice chatbot as well, right? So in short, you are going to create a robot that will reply to your conversation either in the textual format or in the voice format, because it can be a textual chatbot or it can be a voice process chatbot, right? So it depends on us. So according to that, we are having this automated text and the voice based conversation based Rasa chatbot. So this is what is Rasa, and Rasa is helpful in understanding messages, holding conversations, connecting to messaging channels and the APIs. So Rasa is very useful in understanding the messages. That is because whatever messages you will pass for your Rasa chatbot, it will reply according to that. Because what it will do is it will just understand your message, whatever you are going to ask to the chatbot, and accordingly it will reply to that, right? So this is how it is going to work, and after that it can hold the conversation. Let's say I have created a chatbot, and that chatbot has made so many conversation with so many different people, right? So in that case, what I want to do is I want to keep the record of all the conversation that my chatbot has done the conversation with any other person, right? So Rasa is capable of holding all those conversation that has been done, and it will store them into the database. So this is how we can say, like, Rasa can hold the conversations, and also it can connect to the messaging channels. So whatever messaging channels you are having with you, you can connect that to the Rasa, so that in future if you want to connect to any of the messaging channel for the conversation part, so you can use it there with your own Rasa chatbot, right? So you can connect it there, and also with the APIs. So what does that API mean? For that, let's take an example. I want to book a taxi, or let's say I want to book a flight ticket, right? So booking a flight ticket is very easy if you are going to use any existing application, right? Because we know how to use it, we know how to work with it, right? So it is all that process. But in the backend, if we will talk about, there are so many APIs, or let's say there are so many URLs that you are having in the backend, which is being redirected while we will click on any of the option. Or let's say I want to click on the button which is to book the flight, right? So if I will click on that book button, it will redirect me to that particular location, and accordingly it will book your flight. So whenever the booking process is complete, it will provide you the unique uh, ID or something, let's say the PNR number. So it will provide you that, confirming that your booking has been confirmed. So this is the complete process which has been taking place using these APIs. So Rasa is capable of taking all these process in context, and accordingly it can proceed with all those parts that you want to add to your conversation bot, right? So this is how your Rasa is capable of adding so many options. So in this way you can create a very useful chatbot. So this is what Rasa is, and this is capable of. And now let's move to our next question, like, why to use Rasa? Why should I use Rasa? Okay, these are the very important points that I have seen till now, but still, why should I use Rasa, right? So this is the question, but still let me answer you in a more appropriate way. So all your training data is not dependent on Google, Microsoft, Amazon, or Facebook. So the thing is, if in case you are going to create any of the chatbots, in that case what you have to do is you have to be dependent on any of the server or any of the training data which is on someone else server, right? So in that case it is being very hectic for us to use the data, or let's say you have to be dependent on any of the other servers, right? But I don't want to be dependent on any of others. So what I want to do is I want to create my own training data which I can keep with me and which I don't have to be dependent for on anybody else, right? Like Google, Microsoft, Amazon, or Facebook. So Rasa will provide you the democracy to use your own training data set for your Rasa chatbot. So this is how your Rasa is very beneficial. And the next point is the machine learning is not one size fits all. You can tweak and customize model for your training data. So this is what I just said, like you can customize your own training data in whatever way you want to do. Like if in case I want to make a chatbot for the banking purpose, so you can accordingly customize your data for the banking purpose. So if in case I want to make a chatbot for the air booking purpose, so in that case you can customize the data in that format. So Rasa is giving you the full democracy to create a chatbot in whatever way you want to create, right? So this is how your Rasa is very useful, and this is the reason why you should use Rasa. And Rasa runs anywhere you want. So it is completely platform independent. So if in case you have created a chatbot using Rasa, right? Okay, you have created that. Now what should I do with that? Maybe I'll be dependent on some platform or something like that, right? So if in case you have worked on any other chatbots, in that case maybe you have seen like you are dependent on some of the platforms, like you can only use your chatbot in here, rest you will not be able to use it all the terms or in any other places, right? So Rasa is giving you the full democracy, like you can use your chatbot anywhere, either in your website, either on your telephone service, or any other places where you want to use it. You can just connect your Rasa there and you can further use it in that format. So you don't have to create any extra network request for every message. You can directly create your Rasa. So these are the reasons why you're going to use Rasa for creating a chatbot. So I think now you are very much clear like why you should use Rasa over any other type of a chatbot platforms, right? So let's move further and let's understand more about Rasa. So what are the main components of Rasa? The first one is Rasa NLU and the second one is Rasa Code. Now what is Rasa NLU, what is Rasa Core? I didn't get that, right? So this is the question that will come to your mind. Now let's move to the first step, which is Rasa NLU. So what is Rasa NLU and why we are going to use it? Rasa NLU is an open source natural language processing tool. So it is a natural language processing tool in which we are going to use this for the intent classification and the entity extractions in the chatbot. Now what is intent and what is entity, right? So this is the question that will definitely come to your mind, but don't worry, I will clarify you this by using an example. So for that, let's take an example. In this case, I'm having a line, I need a taxi for 5 people, right? So from this term, I need a taxi, right? Okay, from this you will be very much familiar like what you want to do, or let's say what is the actual process. So intent is like taxi booking. So taxi booking is what? This is the intent which is just giving you the context of this complete sentence, and rest entities. Entities are what? You're just going to tell the information about your context which you have just extracted. So entity, we are having service is equals to taxi, and p underscore count, that is the person count, is equals to 5. So from this term, I need a taxi for 5 people. That means you want to book a taxi and you want that taxi for around 5 people. So this is the actual meaning of your Rasa NLU, and this is the main part of your Rasa NLU which it will do in Rasa. Now let's move to the next part, Rasa Code. So what is Rasa Code? So Rasa Code plays a major and the most essential part in generating the reply messages for chatbot. So what does that mean? It means that let's say I'm asking some question to my chatbot and my chatbot has to reply to it, right? So what reply your chatbot will provide you, or let's say what reply your chatbot will give you, right? So this is the main point that your chatbot is up to. So the Rasa core handles all these things, due to which your chatbot will be able to reply with whatever text or whatever messages your chatbot have to reply on the basis of the question that you will ask your chatbot. So this is the main purpose of your Rasa core. So it considers the output of your Rasa NLU, which is the intent and the entities, as an input and apply machine learning model to the response with the bot reply. So this is what I mean. So in the Rasa NLU, we have seen whatever message you will pass, it will extract the entities and the intent from it. According to that intent and the entities, it will just respond to the question that you have asked your chatbot. So this is how your Rasa core will work. So Rasa NLU and Rasa core completely makes your Rasa chatbot, right? So this is how it is going to work. So this was all about the complete introduction of all the things that we are going to use in your Rasa chatbot. Now let's move to the building part. Like, what is Rasa chatbot and how we are going to make it, right? Because theory is something different part. We have to work on the actual chatbot and we want to build something like that, right? So for that, let's go to the next step and let's make a Rasa chatbot. So for that, here I'm going to use the PyCharm so that I'll be able to create all the things in there. So for that, I'm having some commands in here. So these are some of the commands that I'm going to use in my today session, which I'll be using to create a Rasa chatbot, right? But don't worry about that, you will get that all the things in the descriptions below. So just look what I'm going to do right now. So for that, let's just open the PyCharm, and in that PyCharm I'm going to use all these things. Okay, so there is some previous project. Now let's go to the files and let's create a new project. And in here, let's give it a name, Rasa chatbot. So this is the name which I'm going to give to my project. And in here, Python interpreter. So what you have to do is you have to decide whether you want to use a new environment or you want to use an existing environment, right? So in our case, what we want to do is we want to create a new environment. So just click on this new environment and accordingly just give it some name. By default it will be venv. If in case you want to give it some different name, then you can also give that. So it is up to you. And here you can decide like which Python version you want to use, whether it is 3.5 or something else. So it is totally depends on you. So in my case right now I'm using this, but if in case you want to use the upgraded one, you can definitely use that. Okay, so after this just click on create and let's new window. Alright, so your chatbot has been created. So this is the environment which it has already created, so you don't have to create it manually, right? So this is the complete process. Now here you can see this is all about the project information, and here is your Python console, here is your Python terminal. So I will click on this, it will create let's say it will open the terminal for you. Here we will write all the commands that I have just mentioned you here. So these are the commands which I have to use here. So firstly we will check like whether we are having the Python or the pip version installed on or not. If it is already there, then it's okay, otherwise we have to install it. So for that let's write python 3 hyphen hyphen version. So it is showing python 3.5.1. that means python is installed. pip3 version, so this is also installed. And why I'm just checking this, just because like here you can see in my PyCharm I have already created an environment, and you can only create the environment when you are already having these things installed on your system, right? So if in case you don't have created any environment yet and you have to create the environment afterwards, so it is very important that you have the basic information about this, like whether you have installed pip3 and python 3 on your system or not. If it is there, then it's okay, otherwise you have to install it manually, right? So if in case you will get any of the errors in these commands, then what you have to do, you have to just type these commands according to the ubuntu system. And if in case you are using a mac system or you're using the windows system, in that case I have given a link in the description below, you can check that, and accordingly it will provide you all the details about that. And after that, when you're done with this, your next step is to create a python environment using this command, and after that you have to activate it using this command. So this is the complete instructions which is according to the ubuntu users up to this point, right? So when you're done with this, we can move to the next step, right? So this is the complete step which I have done till now. After that, my next step is to just type this command. When I will type this command, what this will do is this will just install all the required packages and the dependencies for your Rasa chatbot. So it will automatically install all the packages. So when you will write this, just click enter and it will start downloading all the packages. And it is a time taking process, so it will take some time to install all the packages. So by the time you can wait and do something else, right? So via the time when it is done, after that you have to write all these commands, and one by one you will write all these things, and it will download the spacey, and it will download the English package for your spacey model, and also it will link your this package with your English language. So this is what we have to do, all the things. So okay, so it has given me one error. And what is that error? Rasa X requires python 3.6. so what should I do now? So the thing is, what I have to do is I have to just upgrade my model, or let's say I have to upgrade the python. So the thing is, either I should write these commands or I will check whether it is already installed on my system or no. So for that, just go to settings, go to this interpreter, just go here and let's just check here. It's user okay, so it is there. I will select this part, and now let's give it some different name. Let's say Rasa underscore env for Rasa environment. Now click OK. So it will create a new environment for you. Now okay. So if in case you want to version 3.7, you can use that part as well, so that is not an issue. Now let's just open a new tab so that it will automatically activate the new environment. Now close it, and now let's write the same command here and run this. and this time you will not get that error because I have upgraded the Python version. Okay, maybe the internet issue. So here you can see all the packages has been installed successfully. This one, this one, this one, and this one. So in short, I have covered all these things, these four parts. So what does that means is I have just created, or let's say I have just set up my environment for the Rasa X so that I can build my project and accordingly I can run it, because these are some of the dependencies that are actually required by Rasa X to run the Rasa chatbot. So this is actually for that purpose. Now when we are done with this part, our next step is to create a first Rasa chatbot program which is being already there in Rasa, which has been set as an example. So for that, what I will do is I will just write this part. So what this will do is this will just create a new program, and hyphen hyphen no prompt means it will not ask you for anything. It will directly automatically create a Rasa chatbot project with the by default dependencies, or let's say with the by default directories and the files that it is actually required for a Rasa chatbot project, right? So I will just run this command and it will add so many directories and the project files for it. Now just press enter. And here you can see I'm already inside this Rasa underscore chatbot, which is my Rasa chatbot project directory. So that is the reason why I'm just writing it here. And for the first time when I will create this project, it will automatically pick all the data and accordingly it will train your model for the first time, right? So this will create all the files required. So here you can see it has created all the things. Now here you can see, let's just do it. Now here you can see these two are the already present directories which were defined for setting up the environment. So this is the environment file. This one we can delete actually. Just delete this one. Okay, so this is the environment file. This is the data in which you will be having two things. One is the NLU data and one is the story. And here model, this is the model which you will get after you will train your model as per the data which you have set for your chatbot, right? So this is the action file, init file, config file. This is the configuration file in which there are already some configurations. This is all about the language, which language you are going to use, and this is the pipeline. This is the by default supervised embedding program in which you are just setting your pipeline in this way so that you don't have to define all the things manually. So this is being used in here, but if in case you don't want to use it, you can use it in a different way by setting up all the step-by-step names for that, and that is being used as a pipeline dependencies, but we will learn it in the later videos. So, and these are the policies that are being set for your chatbot so that accordingly your chatbot will respond in the proper way. So this is the policy which you have set here. Right. So this is about the configuration file and domain file. So this is the domain file in which you will set the responses for your chatbot. So if in case you are asking some question to your chatbot, how your chatbot will reply, or let's say with what answer your chatbot is going to reply, right? So this is the file in which you're going to set all the things, like this is it, this is it, this is it, this is it, right? So this is how you're going to do it, and rest other files as well we are having in here, but we will cover all these part later on, because right now we are not having any importance for it for the basic project, right? So let's just ignore it for now, and let's talk about NLU data and the story data. So NLU.md is the training data which you are having with you, in which you will set all your intents, or let's say like this is the first intent in which you are setting greet. Greet means hey, hello, hi, good morning, something like that. So these are all the things which are setting up in here with your intent name. So this is the intent name, and this is the intent values that you are having in with you, on the basis of which your NLU model will decide, or let's say on the basis of which your NLU model will predict to which intent your question will corresponds to. So this is how your NLU model is going to work. So this is the NLU data for that. Similarly, you can add so many intents for it. So this is how we are going to do it. And the story.md, so this is the story.md file in which you are going to set up the story format, like the conversation flow we can say. So this is the conversation flow with which you're going to convert have a conversation with your chatbot. Let's say I'm saying hi, your bot will reply with hello or something like that. Similarly, you're going to reply how are you, your bot will reply like I'm good or something like. So this is what, this is a conversation flow which we are going to decide, or let's say which we are going to set in your story file, right? So this is how we are going to work with it. So for the first time when you have just run this command, it has automatically trained your model, but if in case you have to do it manually, then you have to just write Rasa train. So what it will do, it will just train your model, and if I will write it now, it will not train the model again, because it will directly say nothing changed, you can use the old model as well. So this is how you can just train your model. And now when you're done with this part, now what I want to do is I want to run my Rasa chatbot, or let's say Rasa X chatbot. So when I will run Rasa X, it will open up my Rasa X, and I can do the conversation in there with my chatbot as per the conversation, or as per the data which I have set here. So it will start Rasa X in the local mode. Okay, maybe due to the permissions error, it is just showing me something like this. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's just close this first, and let's just change the permissions for all. Now let's try it again. Okay, so reason for getting that error was I have to degrade the version of Scenic, because currently it is 19.9.2, but I have to convert it to 19.9.0. So when I will do this part, after that I'll be able to run my Rasa X. So now when I will run Rasa X, then I'll be able to run it. So here you can see it has been opened in the interactive mode. So go to here, talk to your bot. So let's talk to the bot. So let's say hi. So the bot is replying, hey, how are you? So let's say I am sad. So I'll press enter. So it has shown me one image, and here is something to cheer you up. Did that help you? So it's like you can add any type of images in that, so that it can accordingly make you cheerful or something like that, right? So in this way your chatbot will work. So let's say yes, it worked. Okay, great, carry on. Bye. Again it will reply bye. So in this way you can create your own Rasa chatbot. So this is it for today. I hope you have understood all the things very clearly, and still if you are having any queries or any doubts regarding the topic, then please leave a comment below in the comment section. And also if you have liked this video, then please click on the like button. And also if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, and if you want to get more updates on the topic, then please click on the subscribe button so that you do not miss any of my videos. Till then, bye bye.